Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Symphony, and if you haven't heard the news yet, I'm engaged! I just wanted to do, I don't want to say like an announcement video, but just sort of like an introduction into my future wedding content, because I do plan on sharing a lot of the process with you guys, because I know I'll get questions. In case you don't have Instagram or TikTok, I will insert the footage for you guys and kind of tell you the story of how it happened. So we had planned this trip to Michigan for like a long time. We drove all the way up to the Sleeping Bear Dunes, not like the main spot where it's like a huge sand dune, but we decided to camp at Platte River. It was kind of like the very end of our trip. We wanted to be able to get showers and stuff because we were like on the go car camping the whole time. So we were like, let's end the trip off with like a nice campground, get showers in, etc, etc. And they had like a private beach front. It's so funny like saying like, oh, we drove up the coast, we were on the beach, because it's literally a lake, but y'all know what I mean. We decided to take an evening hike to the beach and just like shoot photos, watch the sunset there. And I know I'm gonna get questions on this, like, did I expect it? Did I know what was happening? And honestly, y'all, no. Like, don't get me wrong, I have been dying to get married to this man for like literal years. We've been together for 7.5 years now, and trust me, I have been bugging him like crazy the past like at least I would say like 2 years, but like within the last year I was really like, okay, I want to get married. So yeah, I mean, in a sense, like we talk about it all the time, and I knew we were like on the same page and everything, but he really wanted it to be special. I don't know, I kind of knew it was coming, but I for one had no idea he had already bought a ring. Like I had sent him some, and I kind of like assumed or like hoped, I guess, that he had bought one, but I wasn't like sure, you know what I mean? The whole time we were in Michigan, I kept thinking, wow, this trip would be perfect for him to propose. I didn't have like necessarily like a super strong gut feeling that it was going to happen, if that makes sense. So I was definitely surprised. Literally, y'all, the only thing that gave it away. Okay, back to the timeline. So we're on we're on the beach, and we're kind of just like shooting a ton of photos, taking lots of videos and stuff. Like, we've been doing that the entire trip, so that wasn't something that gave it away either. But we were on the beach for like a little over an hour or so. There was only one other lady there at first, and she walked out into the water like waist deep, and I was like, okay, go off queen, slay, like braver than me, because it literally hurt to put my feet in the water. It was so cold. And so Chris got inspired, and he was like, you know what, I kept saying that I was gonna get in the water, and I haven't yet. If she can do it, I can do it. He literally got down to his underwear and decided to go full body in the water, completely dipped underneath and everything. After he like dipped in the water, we were just sitting on the beach together looking at like the main part of the sand dunes. Y'all, the view at the spot was insane. And so after a little bit of us sitting there, she ended up walking up to us and she was like, can I shoot a few photos of you guys? Like, I hope that's not weird, but you just look so cute sitting here, like with the view in front of you and everything. And so Chris ran and got his camera and set her up. She literally shot the last photos of us before he proposed. And she ended up leaving right after she like took those pictures. She was so sweet. Her name was Denise, and I love her. She was amazing, and literally like it just made us so happy. He set up his camera like actually on a tripod to get a video, which looking back probably should have been a little bit of a hint, because he wasn't really taking videos on his camera at all. He was just shooting photos on it and then taking videos on his phone. But I had been taking a ton of videos and photos all on my phone. So when he set up his camera on the tripod, I was like, okay, I can like kind of lean my phone up into your tripod as well and get a shot of us too, like a little candid, you know, type of moment. And in my head, I was like, walk with me. And I pictured us like walking along like the edge of the sand, like along the water. Didn't see him grab the ring, nothing, you know, he was very discreet. I will give him that. And so we walk up to the water, and he just like decides to hug me. And so I had my head on his chest and I could just hear his heart pounding. And I was like, oh my god, is it gonna happen? But like, again, I still wasn't fully sure. He had just dipped in the water. We had been walking through the freaking sand for the last hour. So I was like, I don't know, maybe his heart's just beating right now. You know what I mean? Like, thumping. But no. We pulled apart from our hug, had a little smooch, and then I started to say something and I don't know what I was starting to say, but he just like got down on one knee and I was like, oh my god! And I was literally, I was just squealing in the video, like, I can't. It was just so cute and literally so perfect. You know, again, it was right at the end of our trip. It was at sunset on the beach with a good view. Like, oh my gosh, I was so happy that entire trip. It was seriously the most perfect vacation, and to end it off with an engagement, insane, literally insane. That's the whole story. We're engaged. We shot a few photos on the beach afterwards, which he's still, it's been like 2 weeks now, maybe close to 3, and he's still working on getting the photos from that trip edited. So hopefully by the time I'm getting this video up, I'll be able to insert the photos that I'm talking about. There it is, y'all. I'm freaking engaged. I'm getting married. It's so crazy. Like, you know, okay, this is gonna sound insane, but I started my Pinterest board for our wedding literally like 6 months or so into us dating. So yeah, I've known since the very start that he was the person I would want to marry, and he is truly my soulmate. I love him so much. He is my best friend, like truly my absolute best friend, and we just have so much fun together. We're always laughing, and we've been through so much as a couple over the last 7.5 years. I mean, I was 18 when him and I first started dating, which is so insane. Like, I was literally a baby. I was so little, and I think he was 19. Maybe he had just turned 20, because he's like a year and a half older than me. Obviously, your early 20s, you go through a lot. We've been through so many phases of life together, and you know, even through the rough patches, he has still remained just my best friend and my rock. And I don't know, I've never doubted for a moment that I would want to spend my life with him. And he gets along with my family so well. Like, my family loves him. He is fully integrated into my family. Like, he is just one of us. And I also love his family as well, which is such a blessing. I mean, we both come from divorced parents, so we definitely don't have the most like traditional, I guess, families. It's not always the most common to like get along with like your in-laws, you know what I mean? So I do feel very lucky that we both love each other and each other's families, and also our friends. We have like a lot of the same friends. Honestly, a lot of people's reactions were like, it's about time, you know what I mean? But everybody has been so incredibly supportive. Y'all, when I announced it on Instagram, I like knew people were gonna be excited, but like, I was honestly a little overwhelmed by the feedback. I just had so many people commenting, so many people messaging me. I had people I didn't even know putting us on their story, being like, this is the best news of the whole year. And it just, oh my gosh, absolutely warmed my heart. I feel like I've built such a strong community here online, and the fact that y'all are just so supportive and like happy for us means the absolute world to me. Everything about it has been such a dream. And you know, even though I was pushing for such a long time to get married, I am glad that we waited, honestly, because we're finally in like a good spot mentally, financially, just like we're very settled and content right now. And it just feels like the time is right, if that makes sense. I feel like looking back, even, oh my gosh, if we would have gotten married 2 years ago, obviously we would have made it work, but like, I don't know. I know 7.5 years is a very long time to some people. A lot of people get married a lot sooner on in their relationship, but you know, again, we were really young when we first started dating, and we've just been like kind of roughing it through our early 20s. So now that we're at such a good point right now, I just feel like everything has really aligned and the time is right. And I feel so ready. I have just been so freaking excited to start planning things. I have already started I mean, obviously I started my Pinterest board a long time ago, but now putting my boards together is so different because I'm like, oh, it's really happening. This is not like a daydream anymore. I'm literally planning, which was wild. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to kind of go through some of my ideas, which, mind you, I'll say this disclaimer now, this is all subject to change, okay? We just got engaged 2 weeks ago, so I don't know how much of this is really going to be set in stone, and there also are bits and pieces that I will be keeping private as well, but I want to share as much as I can with you guys because this is so fun and so exciting and just right up my alley. You guys know how much I love home decor and thrifting, and a lot of the wedding planning is thrifting the decor, at least for me, and also DIYing a lot of stuff. So I'm really, really excited for that whole freaking process, and I really want to try my best to take you guys through all of it with me. So if you like wedding content, strap in, make sure you subscribe, and also follow me obviously on TikTok and Instagram as well, because I will be sharing things over there too. But anyways, I thought it would be a lot of fun for this very first video, now that y'all have heard the whole story and everything, to just talk you through like where I'm at currently with planning and my mood board and like my playlist and stuff like that. So for the actual wedding, I'll be honest, Chris and I always kind of have gone back and forth with either do we elope and just do a reception, or are we gonna have a full wedding, like a traditional like real wedding? Well, now that we're engaged, I would say, okay, the last like year I've really been fixated on we're just getting eloped. I don't want to deal with all of the stress that comes with a wedding, all of the financials that come with a wedding. And again, like I mentioned, our parents are both divorced, so definitely it's gonna be a weird crock of people at our wedding, you know, and that does make at least me very nervous, but hopefully it's all gonna go smoothly, because now that we're actually engaged, I feel like everyone is like, so when's the wedding? Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's definitely excited and hoping for a wedding. Obviously, this is our day. It's about us, so I don't want to only do it for other people, but I don't know. I'm not, like, opposed to doing a wedding. You know what I mean? It just definitely seems like a lot. But with that, I will say, even having a traditional wedding, it's not gonna be the most traditional thing ever necessarily. Like, I kind of just want to do it my way. I want it to be pretty casual and chill. I don't want to go all out. I want to have as modest of a budget as I possibly can. Obviously, there's some really big expenses in there, like the venue and food and my dress, but oh, not the heat kicking on. Aside from those like big costs, again, I want to just like thrift and DIY literally everything. I don't plan on hiring a DJ. We're gonna keep our party very small. We're thinking probably 3 or 4 for each of us. I think 3 is like the perfect number, so I'm pushing for that. We're still kind of deciding though. As for guest list, I don't know. Hold on. I have this cute little notebook that his mom just got me for my birthday, and I did start a guest list, but I haven't counted it yet. I am hoping to keep it under 100, but like, it's already looking a little long. I already wrote down a potential date, but my first page in this has all of the dates wrote down when we got engaged, the bridal shower, bachelorette, wedding, and then our honeymoon. Don't have any clue what we're gonna do for our honeymoon. We'll get there when we get there. I have written down the wedding party on the next page, who I want my bridesmaids to be, and then his groomsmen that he has planned out. And then actually my aunt just got, what is it, like your license to be like ordained? I'm not good with the wedding stuff, y'all. This is all very new to me, okay? But she just married my uncle, actually, so I will be asking her if she would marry us. The youngest person in the family is my brother, who is going to be 13. Well, my brother, I do want him to be the ring bearer, even though he's 13. I don't care. And then for colors, I have obviously pink, like a light baby blush pink, and then maroon. I've been very into maroon again lately, like a really, really deep maroon though, like not red, a very deep vampire maroon color, you know what I mean? And then olive green, but I don't want to have too much green because, oh, I probably should have mentioned this already. We plan to have our wedding outside. Probably will still be pretty freaking green out. I know at least this year the leaves have barely even started changing yet. So that's what I'm hoping for, is to have a lot of greenery. And therefore I don't want to like bring in too much green. I just want to have green in like our florals and have like some mossy type of stuff like on the tables, and yeah, like I don't know that anybody will be like wearing green. I'm kind of leaning towards my bridesmaids wearing like either all maroon or maybe a mix of like pinks and maroons. And the other two colors are like brown and black, and also gold/brass and silver. But that's more for like the decor. I just asked Chris actually last night what color he wanted to wear, and he immediately said brown, and I was like, thank God, because I wanted you to wear like a brown suit. So he'll be wearing brown and like a cream color and then black. And I'm thinking I want the groomsmen to be all in black. Maybe not all black, but like I want them to wear like black suits, or at least like black pants with maybe like, I don't know if I want them to wear white shirts, but I can't think of a color that I would want them to wear, so we'll see about that. I do have a playlist going. We actually started our wedding playlist like maybe over a year ago at this point. It's been going for a while, but I've just very, very slowly been adding to it. I'll put like on the screen, I have a wedding playlist and a reception playlist. I'll do a little like scroll through of those so that you guys can see a little sneak peek into that. We're both very, very into music, so putting together the playlist is so fun for us. And I personally really don't want to DJ. I just really don't want to DJ. I could maybe see us having a live band, but like that's just an extra cost and an extra thing to like plan and set up that I'm like, I'd rather just like plug someone's phone in on Spotify. Like, I don't know, is that crazy? I don't think it's crazy. That's what him and I both want to do. So I think that's the route we're gonna go, and that's why I have a playlist going. And then I do have some ideas for photographers that we're considering, which you would think, us being photographers, that we know a ton of photographers, but honestly, most of our friends that shoot photos don't really do weddings. So that's another thing that is gonna be pretty pricey, I believe, but definitely worth it, because as photographers ourselves, the photos are one of the most important things to us, so I really want to make sure that they're done well and in the style that we're wanting. So, like I said, I have a few people picked out in mind, but we'll kind of see. We're still deciding, and obviously need to reach out to people, see their rates and things like that. For venue, okay, like I said, we really want to do our wedding outside. I've always pictured getting married like in the woods, but the thing is that I'm starting to really figure out is that most outdoor venues, for one, are insanely expensive, because you're getting like a very private area with a ton of land and a whole bunch of different like structures and amenities and things like that. So it's been hard, honestly, and very overwhelming looking at potential venues. So that's going to be something that I'm definitely, I need to decide on so I can get it booked. But like, that's a very, very big decision, because that is what's really going to secure the rest of the planning for us. Obviously, we will then have a date locked in. We will know if we need to get a whole bunch of dishes, or, because some places even have like decor that you have access to for the day, which could be really helpful and cut down on costs a lot as far as me thrifting stuff. What else? I know some places either have like food there, or make it accessible, or work with certain places for catering. It's just like a lot. It is a lot, and it's kind of stressing me out. That's like the one thing that I'm truly like stressed about, but I know it'll work out. We'll find what is good and like well suited for us. I just don't know if I'm gonna get exactly what I've always been picturing, but I know whatever we end up with is going to be beautiful. Other issue other than price with outdoor venues is that a lot of them are like barn, or they're very rustic, and that's just not my vibe. Like, I'm not going for boho, I'm going for Victorian eclectic with a little bit of spookiness in there. I picture where the ceremony would be literally like on the tree line of the forest, if not in the forest. But I think that whole forest vibe that I have is gonna have to be a little more dedicated to like photos, either engagement photos or just like even wedding day photos that we can like walk out to the woods somewhere and get the photos that we want, but the ceremony might be in a little more of like a designated area, if that makes sense. I know for our engagement photos, which we will be shooting within the next couple of weeks, we are going to our favorite abandoned church in Illinois, which also has a cemetery, which is perfect, and it's in the woods. So literally, I even said, I was like, if we could get married here, I would, but can't really have a wedding in an abandoned church, unfortunately. But could you imagine how beautiful that would be? And so then I have a list of things I want to DIY, which is mostly like the decor and the florals, loud ass cars, and like the invitations I want to do myself. Buying new, I'm trying to make a list so that I can like definitely keep an eye on and whatever on the budget, but disposable cameras, string lights, napkins. For things that I'm looking for when I'm thrifting, lace, doilies, and ribbon, candlestick holders and candelabras, and also taper candles, clear vases, silver trays, floral dishes potentially. I also want to decorate with bones and antlers and crystals, and again like moss. For the tables, I want to mix all of that in with like the candlesticks. Also some cherubs. You guys know I love my cherubs. I have them all over my home, so of course I want to sprinkle them in for the wedding. Some gold and white frames. I want to get some photos for like the tables, I think, like put pictures of me and Chris in them. Literally have one sitting in front of me. I have an empty gold ornate frame that like I might turn into a sign or something. We'll see, but I want to do some sort of DIY on that. I have been thrifting actually quite a lot of that. If you guys would like a big old wedding decor haul soon, let me know, because I have in fact already started the thrifting for it. That's how excited I am. I do already have a mood board made for the wedding, so if you guys are curious, I'll go ahead and pop that on the screen right now. This is like my first draft of a mood board. But I did put like the color palette on here and then just a whole bunch of images. Not even everything is like super specific wedding, but like it's just overall the vibe that I want to have at the wedding. I'll pull up my Pinterest really fast too to give you guys some ideas. I might not go through like everything with you guys right now, but at least do a quick little scroll through a little bit. Under wedding goals, I do have 12 sections, because I'm a very organized Virgo girly. I'll show you guys the florals. That's one of the first ones that I feel comfortable pulling up. So I have a very obvious color scheme going here. And what I have decided is that I definitely want to have a mix of dried florals and like live florals. I'm thinking, you know, for some of the centerpieces on the table, you guys will see the picture that I have pulled up right now. I want to do some live flowers. I think that would be really pretty, but then I also want to have bouquets of dried flowers. So actually something that I need to work on in the meantime, like over the course of the next year, is buying bouquets of flowers and drying them out so that we have plenty ready for the wedding day. I'm gonna go into location because we were just talking about that. So like this image right here, the big tree in the back, absolutely perfect. I love this so much. I love that it's like in a big open field but with like lots of trees surrounding still. That is like exactly the type of backdrop that I'm picturing. This one right here, I am obsessed with mismatched chairs. My mom did make a really good point. She was like, girl, we're gonna need a U-Haul to get all your stuff out here, because I'm also picturing some like antique furniture as well, like I mentioned. So I was like, damn, you're kind of right though. That would be a lot. So we'll see. Again, this is another thing that really depends on the venue, because most venues supply you with chairs, but like this is what I've been envisioning for years, so I'm like, ah. Here's an image of like an absolute fairy tale dream of what it could look like being like in the forest, but again, I don't know how much we'll really be able to get this vibe. I don't know that I mean, maybe we'll have like an archway or like a circle or something behind us. Chris said he would really like to make that ourselves, which I could not agree more. Like, okay, this one is what I'm thinking, like a big circle of like twigs that are all like intertwined together. That is really, really pretty, and I do love that. But then part of me is also like, but something like this where something's like draped into the trees is really pretty too. Once again, it just really depends on location, but you can see I have a lot of like, just like furniture outside type of vibe, which I think is really cool and really pretty, but I don't know fully how doable it is. I love like the long tables, but I'm also open to round tables. Again, it's just, it really all depends on the venue. So I gotta be somewhat flexible with that. And then yeah, I'll show you the decor to kind of finish this off. And then if you guys want a deeper dive into things like the bridesmaids dresses and my wedding dress ideas, I will do that in a future video where I'm trying on my own dresses and doing the bridesmaids dresses. But I just wanted to stick to kind of like the overall vibe for this video. So as you can see, the biggest thing for me with decor is the taper candles. Like, that is the most important thing to me. I just don't fully know yet if I really want to do like real candles, or if something I should invest in is getting all the battery powered ones, because that would be a lot safer and we wouldn't have to deal with like the flames going out on them since we will be outside. Here's an example of like the vintage furniture is like the dessert area or like the cake area. So that's what I was meaning by kind of like designated spots. We have this little table that's like the drinks. So I do think like kind of separating it up like that would be really cool. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, this is like the guest book area, and then it's got, you know, things hanging out of the trees and whatnot. Very, very cool, very pretty. This is another example of like what I'm really liking, just lots of candles with the brass candlestick holders, the lace, and then just like pretty florals. I'm really into this like Victorian, like regal look. So I'm really hoping that we can really achieve that the way that I'm envisioning. It's definitely like stuff like this is very like, it's giving kind of gothic and spooky, but I don't want it to be like too dark is the thing. Like I want the overall base to be like whites and creams, and then sprinkling like the darker tones in there here and there. This one too, this like vanity with a cake on it, so pretty. I love to do something like that. I'll show you like some that are like, I'm pulling some inspiration from this, but this is way too dark for me. I don't want to go this dark, but the skull, I was like, yeah, we're gonna need some spooky elements like bones and skulls mixed in. This one too, again, I love the like almost dark academia kind of vibe, but it's just way too dark for me. But I am still pulling inspiration. This one I really loved. The like moss hanging out of the lanterns is so cool. Or the chandeliers rather. This one, I don't love that like magenta color, but this is what I meant by like incorporating moss within like the lace and the candles and everything like that. So that's definitely an idea. This again, a little too dark for me, but I'm loving the mixture of like the bones and the antlers and the moss on the tabletops. Like if I do something indoors, obviously we won't be in like something this insane and gorgeous, but that's the vibe I'm going for, okay? Oh, I love this one for like a round table. I really like the way the candles are like in the circle, you know what I mean? Like it's not just like in the center of the table. I like the shape of that. Sorry for all the background noise today, y'all. It's just, it's inevitable. Oh my gosh, I thought if we rode in on something, we should ride in on something like this. A Victorian carriage. How iconic would that be? Oh my gosh, the chandelier hanging from the like twine like archway thing. Come on. So yeah, picture just like Victorian Gothic. You can see the further I scroll down that I was leaning a lot more into the pastels because I was hoping for like a spring wedding, but now I'm starting to lean into a little bit more of like the moodiness, but I'm still pulling inspiration from this because even still, like I said, I do want some pops of pink here and there. Like this image is so pretty. I love the like pink taper candles, the little pink plates, all the lace and brass and glass. But the florals, I do want a lot of baby's breath, but I don't think I want like that much pink in my florals. You know what I mean? So anyways, Yeah, you can see a very strong shift from when I first started mood boarding to now. I know it will all come together exactly how I'm dreaming that it will, but I just wanted to let you guys in a little bit on some of my ideas and what I'm envisioning, and I just cannot wait to bring it to life and to be able to bring you guys along on that journey of bringing my dream wedding to life. Like, what? Absolutely insane. Also hoping that with a photographer we're able to get a videographer as well, but that is also very much depending on budget and who we're able to hire, so we'll see. But if I do have a wedding video, I will absolutely be sharing that with you guys. So yeah, I think though that's pretty much it. I've been sitting here rambling for almost an hour, so I feel like that's really all I have to say for this video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more wedding content. I will definitely have thrift hauls of wedding decor coming to you very soon, and just more planning and kind of behind the scenes of it all. So yeah, anyways, that is it for today. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.